Honestly, I wouldn't have chosen this time or today to go live, but I've been gifted well, quite a quantity of data, and I thought, you know what, let me use it. Okay. The topic is I had to put different things because they kind of get intertwined after some time. So I put women there, I put feminism there, I put so we might be touching on all of those things as time goes on. So hello, everyone. Before I proceed though, let me talk about my hair first. Honestly, I don't know what to do with my hair. At this point, I'm just praying because I have spent both money, time, and energy trying to grow the hair. But one thing I've noticed is that consistency is key. So let me start with that. The black woman's hair or the melanated woman's hair, the 4C hair, and the matters and the issues that come with it. It's the black hair, or rather the melanated hair, is not that easy to love. It would have been, but it seems people choose not to. And there are a lot of controversies around that. If you talk about to a women about loving their natural hair, they get offended and they go, you should not police a black woman and how she does her hair and so on and so forth. Like a black woman can do her hair however it is she wants. But we all know, including those who are protesting, that the the hair of the black woman is political. It's political. It has been politicized. And so there is nothing you're doing with your hair as a black woman that does not have a history or a story behind it. Our hair tells a story. Our hair says a lot about us, right? It says a lot about our personality. It says a lot about who we are. It says a lot about where we are from, who we think we are as well, keys in into all of that. And so when people say, oh, you're great with your hair naturally and all of that, and other people respond with, well, don't tell us what to do with our hair. It's been avoiding the obvious, that maybe you're offended by that statement because you can't seem to love your hair the way it is, right? And it is your hair. It's unique. It's different. I don't see any reason why I don't see any reason why you can't love your hair. I mean, I understand because, you see how a lot of people would go against you because of your hair. You're accused of having rough hair. Even among black people, I've had people tell me things like, when are you going to do your hair? And I'm like, my hair is done. Okay, not like this, obviously. It wasn't like this. I didn't do a twist like this. I combed it and I bonded it. That was what I did. And they were asking me when was I going to do my hair, and I was like, my hair is done because I know how long it took me to even put the hair the way it was at the time. I mean, there are so many reasons why I bond my hair. Well, at least I bonded my hair, and the hair is a journey. One of these days I'm going to talk about the what's the word now? The lessons that my hair has taught me. It's a lot. It's a lot of lessons. The first lesson my hair taught me is uniqueness, individuality. Like, my hair has a mind of its own. My hair does not submit to my dictates. I have to understand my hair and give it what it needs. So what that teaches me is that no matter what I am part of, because my hair is a part of me, right? And you would expect that my hair should do as I say or follow what I want, but alas, it does not. My hair has a mind of his own, like I said. He has his own demands. He has his own demands. Let's put it that way. To everyone who is texting in, hi, everyone. So I just said, let me just begin with myself first. And I'm starting with, I just said, let me start with my hair, because that is a very controversial topic. And I think I understand why a lot of Black women are feeling angry, but they're angry at the wrong people, is what I would like to say. We're angry at the wrong people. We're not fellow Black people who wear their hair naturally are not the ones who made it difficult for Black women to wear their hair. It is people, well, hateful people, okay? Hateful people that are among, okay? Before someone comes and says, not all non-Black people. Well, non-Black people are not all saints. We know that. So don't come telling me that, please. That's not what I'm here for. But you find a situation where a Black person, even in America, and that's weird. I had to, when I began to pay attention to what is going on in America, as it relates to Black people and all of that, I began to understand a lot of things. It made me realize that whatever it is that they are going through in America as Black people is more or less the same prototype in Africa as well. It's not that different. In America, for example, it's frowned upon for Black people to come into school with their hair texture the way it is. So somebody might say things like a teacher, really, an educationist, and all of that may come and tell you that your hair is rough and all of that. I don't know how they expect that your hair should look like that of a Caucasian. You're not Caucasian. So obviously everything about us as Black people is different. And yet you still have people who feel the need to state the obvious. And they do that with children in a very mean way, actually. They will say your hair is rough, make sure you do your hair and all of that. And they pressure children, or rather Black people from childhood, to straighten their hair, to silk press in quote their hair, instead of leaving their hair in its woolly glory. You understand? And recognizing that that is different, and different is good, right? But no, they don't do that. In so many schools in Africa, you have a situation where you are told that when you are coming to school, you have to barb your hair. Like you have to, especially in government-owned schools, right? Not in private schools. In government-owned schools, you are asked to cut your hair short, But we don't. Let's have for example, a Caucasian or somebody who is not Black come into our schools, which is rare. But on those occasions when that happens, hardly do you ask them passing the same instruction to them that, oh, here we don't keep our hair long, we cut it. No. Of course, they sold that to our parents, because for my parents, until the age of 18, thereabout, was it 18, either 18 or 17, I was cutting my hair short. I had to beg my mom, because my mom is an educationist. So obviously she believes that doing your hair or taking time to plait your hair, and put your hair in different hairstyles, as is the norm with an African woman, is time wasting and takes your mind away from education. And I don't know how that served me, because I didn't I didn't get all the A's that was expected I was expected to have because I was cutting my hair, that sort of thing. So it was sold to our parents that, when your child cuts their hair, they tend to be more serious in school because they are not focused on their hair and so on and so forth. But our parents forgot what hair means. Like when a person inspires you to cut your hair, it's from a place of a conqueror. In ancient times, when they win, when a people have been defeated, one of the things they do to show their supremacy over them, because keeping long hair was a thing in the ancient world. There weren't that many, even those that were shaving their hair in ancient times, they had some part of their hair that was long, at least. You understand? They had some part of their hair that was long, except maybe for spiritual people that are on a spiritual journey, like priests, like monks. They're the ones who usually shave their head completely. Sometimes they're the ones who shave their hair completely. There are some that keep long hair, but usually they shave their hair in most cultures that I know, Asian cultures. Yeah, Asian cultures. They shave their hair. The monks, for example, they shave their hair because in East Asia, I believe that's where China is. Forgive my poor knowledge of geography. In China, for example, in ancient times, they kept long hair, very long hair, because they felt like it's a respect to the ancestors and all of that. So you have a situation where they cut, if somebody is trying to psychologically defeat a people that have hair, they cut their hair just to completely annihilate the person, like to show, like that person would always have it in mind that they are defeated. So they cut the person's hair, whether it's the woman's hair they cut or the man's hair, depending on who is keeping long hair in that culture. So there are so many things to that. And the fact that they convinced our parents, whoever they are, that it was a good idea for us to be cutting our hair is just terrible. And then, of course, they will tell us that once you graduate, once you finish from high school or secondary school, you can now start doing your hair. And the next thing people often do when they start doing their hair is not their hair they do. They put on the hair textures as wig or weaves that is similar to that of Caucasians. So, like, really, these are things, details we already know, but I think it is important that we keep repeating it for those who would always go, oh, a black woman can do what she wants with her hair. Well, that is true, but you don't have to walk around looking like you're a defeated person, because if you are wearing hair texture that is not yours, it's telling a story. It's showing us who owns you. You understand? Who owns you psychologically, and that's not a good thing. But when you are wearing your hair naturally, do you see how much anger and how much opposition you get when you wear your hair naturally? It's because those who want to see you conquered, you are telling them that I am victorious, I am a survivor. And they don't like that. They don't like that. They don't like that at all. You know, sorry, I have to take a sip of this. Okay, in case you're wondering what this is I was drinking, it's hibiscus flower. Hibiscus flower that has some spices in it, right? So for those of us who don't know what hibiscus flower is, we call it zobo where I come from. It's very common, it's very tasty. It's very nutritious. It's good for the hair too. I have used it to wash my hair, like put it in the water. Honestly, I don't use shower again. You know why I don't use shower again? Please, please, please. I shower, okay? No, I bathe, okay? I bathe. That's another that's another topic. God I beg go. Now we have to reiterate that we take our baths. Okay. So what I was trying to say is that there was a time when I'm washing my hair, because I add things to my bathing water. I don't use the shower that you have to turn on and put it on your head and all of that, because then where do I put the Epsom salt in? Right? Where do I put in the hibiscus tea, for example? Where do I put in the rice waters? All right, where do I put in the turmeric and all those fantastic things that I can use to bathe? You get what I mean? Or wash my hair, right? And hibiscus is um is good anti-dandruff. It also moisturizes the hair. It's a good moisturizer. Oh yeah, it's a good moisturizer. I haven't used it. Okay, we're back live. Honestly, it's getting a bit hot in here. Despite the fact I'm wearing a singlet. I may have to go and get my hand fan soon. Okay, so I was talking about hair and things that we put into hair and all of that. And I was talking about how, putting something in spray bottles. When I put, I need to get hand fan or something. Okay, so I have gotten my hand fan. Honestly, um, where was I again? So we're talking about hair. I think I might just probably end the live here. Okay, someone else has joined, so maybe I can stay longer, I guess. All right, so the topic I wanted to talk about was women, and there are so many topics I want to touch on. So I'm trying to find the one that I'll start with first, but I think maybe I will start with dressing. Now, there was a time we're having a conversation. Um, okay, maybe I would just end this particular one right here. I'm not sure if I should continue. I don't know. Hello to another person who just joined in now. Okay, so previously I was talking about myself in terms of my hair. Um, it's been a journey. So this is my own flat twists that I did. Just split my hair in two places and I flat twisted it. To keep it moisturized now is another thing. My goal is to have a very, very long hair. It's not impossible, but it means I have to be gentle with my hair. I'm learning that. I have to be gentle. It might look tough. It might even feel tough. Funny, like I've had my hair cut my nails more times than I care to count. Like, it's just not, it's not nice. I've had it cut my, is that sharp? Like when I'm washing my hair, I find that my nail, one or two of my nails have gotten shorter because one of the hair strand cut straight through the nails. I don't know whether it's my nails that got softer or is that my hair is sharp or both. But as sharp as it is, as tough as it is, as strong as it is, it breaks. It breaks. And it's not very encouraging, but it's my hair. What am I going to do about it? It's my hair. I just have to keep gaining knowledge. And I think the key is consistency, right? Being gentle, being consistent. I think that's the key right there. Okay, so self-love is a journey. It's a journey really. It means loving all of yourself, loving yourself in your difference, right? Loving yourself in your difference, and showcasing that difference as well. Because you can say you love you for you, but if you are not showcasing it, it's not telling us much, right? Which leads me to the issue of fashion as well. Hair is part of fashion. Your clothing is, people always think that clothing is fashion, and people always think that, we know that hair is also fashion, but we don't see fashion a lot from the point of view that, your hair also makes a statement. Everything you wear is a statement. Fashion is a language on its own, and we all don't have the same language. So obviously, our fashion sense cannot be uniform, right? It cannot be uniformed. And so you have a situation where people would want to look like some people because they want to have the kind of acceptance that they have. Sometimes I wonder for, black people who wear wigs and weaves that are way different from their hair texture. Sometimes I wonder, like, if people with that particular hair texture, if they are being persecuted, would you still wear that hair? I'm just saying, would you still wear that hair? You know? So for you to say, well, I love myself, me wearing wigs, I don't wear wigs. For them who wear it, it doesn't mean they don't love themselves. Honey, you are loving yourself, but it is limited. You have placed boundaries. The love you have for yourself is not very wholesome. That's just it. I wouldn't say the love I have for myself is wholesome yet, but I'm taking that journey one step at a time, and I'm trying to be consistent with it. So that's that about that. Okay, so to the topic. Um, all right, to the topic. What I wanted to talk about, women. Honestly, the gaslighting against women is just terrible. I was reading something from Cora the other day, and it was talking about female genital mutilation again. And apparently, it's still a thing, right? And what boggles the mind for me is that women are the ones who are performing these surgeries on the genitalia of girls, where they do what they do in female genital mutilation. When I don't want to go into the details, because even I don't want to like think about it, but it is the reality of a lot of girls. A lot of girls, one too many girls. And the story out there is that it's still ongoing because it's hush hush. They're not announcing it. And the reason is simple, they know it's wrong, but it's not stopping them from doing it. That says a lot. And the fact that women are involved, which is where it gets tricky with the issue of feminism. And there are so many things that are wrong with the way feminism is being done now, because I think the mindset is that, you know, men are the enemies. In a way, they are, but they also have the support of women to be the way they are. And so when we say feminism and we are not dealing with the women in our midst that are anti-women, sometimes we call them pick-me's, but it's much worse than being a pick-me, because when women are the enforcers, they are the ones who are always coming up with all the rules that women must follow. They are the ones who are, women are the ones that are always policing how a woman looks. They are the ones that will criticize it. They are the ones that will say you don't look nice enough. I mean, it wasn't a man that told me years back that when was I going to do my hair. It was a woman. You understand? And it was also a woman, and it was also women that were asking me, so what are you going to do if your husband, that hasn't come yet, by the way, if your husband tells you to start wearing jewelry and start wearing makeup, what are you going to do then? And my response was, for one, I can't listen to that because that is wrong on so many levels. If you know as a man that you like women that use jewelry, why would you go after a woman that does not wear jewelry? What is your aim? What is your motive? Why is it that you want to change how women look, how a woman looks? You want to what? Be her god? You want her to be your worshiper or something? What's your goal? You understand? Like I would expect that it's like me, for example, maybe I don't like tattoos, for example. Maybe I don't like tattoos. And then I say yes to a man that asks me that wears tattoos, and I say yes to him. The first question is, why would I say yes to a man that I don't like the way he is or the way he looks? And then not only do I say yes to him, I'm expecting him to sort of remove the tattoos he's wearing. When I could have very well been with a man that has a flawless skin, you know? So you have a situation where a woman's outfit, the way we dress, our wardrobe is always open for conversation. People are always talking about it, the way you dress, the way you dress, the way you dress. And nobody's looking at, are we not going to talk about a woman wanting to dress the way she dresses? Like, why is that not permissible? Why is it that, I need the permission of every other person? I need a men's permission. I also need women's permission to choose my wardrobe. When am I ever going to wear something I like? Now, I'm not asking that question because I'm waiting for an answer. I'm asking that question generally because I wear what I like. I wear what I like. There are some people that will say things like, oh, why would a single woman wear a married woman's clothes? And I'm thinking, there is no married women's clothes, you know? Like, there, there isn't married women's clothes. What does that even mean? You understand? Honestly. Um, so now the issue of feminism and the church. There's the issue of, I think I've talked about the issue of women and feminism. The issue of women and feminism is very interesting because you still have that problem that is still unsolved. The problem of other women thinking that they should insist on what other women should do or not to do. You understand? So, if a woman decides that she wants to be a full-time housewife, for example, and that is what she wants to do, she's castigated for it. I mean, there's a way, I understand how scary that might be for women who, always felt the need to have their own purse, have their own money for because of past that. However, there is a way you can present that talk to a woman and be like, okay, it's fantastic if you want to um it's fantastic if you want to be a full-time housewife. First and foremost, we have to acknowledge that that's a lot of work, but I guess the worry of some people is that is an unpaid work that you don't get accolades for, you don't get awards for it. No one is awarding you for it, right? um yeah, is a thankless job a lot of times. And should the man decide that he's tired of having living with you, you know he can decide that you have not added anything to his personal income. you know I need a drink of herbal tea. A drink of herbal tea. Thank you. All right, so am I okay? I'm told I'm live. Yeah, I know. Women are usually the first to condemn other women. They are the first to criticize them. Sometimes, even when women sometimes question it, but it's also more sincere because a lot of times what women get from other women is criticism. Oh, why do you have to look that way? Why does she look that way? And they will not tell you directly. Oh, sometimes they will be saying it to other women who will also be passing it to other women, and then they condemn you based on how you look, right? And I've I've faced some of that. I faced some of that in the sense that women who, you know, wear makeup, wear wigs, wear jewelry, and all of that, they sort of feel like they're in a class of their own, while women who are wearing their natural self as their jewel are seen as not in their level or in their league. And so you have a situation where some of them turn their noses. I didn't say all, some turn their noses at us. And I'm like, well, okay, whatever. And I just leave them at that. So you have a situation where there is women against women situation, and it makes the work of feminism very bad. You understand? It doesn't, it's one of the major reasons why there is no progress as far as feminism is well, there have been significant progress. Speaking of significant progress, please. All right, that was hibiscus tea. Speaking of significant progress, it's amazing how, for strange reasons, America has yet to have its first female president. I find that really odd. The first one to contest was a white woman, and they had so many reasons why she shouldn't be president. They had so many reasons. I can't remember all those reasons right now. And then there was another opportunity. I think for both situations, sometimes I wonder exactly what kind of templates they give presidents that puts them in a situation where they are not as wholesome as they ought to be, because, I mean, if I am pro life, for example, it will be very it will be like a betrayal to myself to vote into office someone who the beginning and end of women health or health care for women ends and begins for her with abortion. Like, we're talking about women health, and that's all you have to say as a woman. I'm like, you don't understand me. Okay, so what happens to the woman who is still at risk for having a baby? Is it that, because when that is the only thing you highlight, why would that be the major thing you highlight out of all the things? You have the issue of fibroid, facing women. You have the issue of cervical cancer facing women. You have the issue of menopausal issues facing women. You have women with fertility issues. You understand? Women who want to bear children but they can't bear children, or women that find it extremely difficult to have for childbirth, whether cesarean or not. You have a situation where, the field of gynecology is not moving as is not is not having all the tools that women need to have save baby deliveries. So when a woman is focusing on health, women health care, and all you can talk about is abortion, ha. For a woman like me that, number one, does not support abortion in any way, and a woman who wants to have children, like, even if you support abortion but you also want to have children, your need to have children is not even on the agenda. So it's a lot. Like, you want to vote for a woman, but if her principles or her manifesto does not show that she is very informed as to the needs of women in healthcare, it's a problem. It's a problem. And you find a situation where, there are some people that voted for Kamala Harris for the right reasons. I mean, post election and all of that, people are talking about how, the reason for voting for Kamala was not because she represented all of their interests, but because at least she represented some of the interests that might be dealt with. And some other people voted for, Trump for the right reasons. However, there are some who also voted for him for the wrong reasons. And that is where the issue now is. You understand? Because those that voted for him for the wrong reasons, they are crying now. You understand? Like the right reason, I don't know because I'm not an American, but I would assume that for someone who is a staunch Christian and believes that there is moral decadence in the society, they might just throw caution to the wind and just vote the person they voted for because they feel like their religious rights will be respected and all of that. But there is a lot going on. Now, feminism and the church. I'm going to come back to do another live, I guess. So we're going to talk about feminism and the church. Now, feminism and the church, feminism and the church. Now, the church, generally speaking, is anti-feminism. I can't really say why per se, and I don't understand why, but I think it's because that is of that statement about men at the head, and because of that, they feel like feminism is a problem because of that. But I don't see feminism as a problem in itself. I think it's just a symptom of a problem. And I think if Christians would just sit down and really understand what is going on, maybe they might actually start preferring solutions to the problems instead, and I'm speaking as a Christian, by the way, instead of just, saying, oh, um, a Christian cannot be feminist and so on and so forth. Why not? God wanted women, He created them, and He said, fruitful, multiply, subdue the earth. So why not? Honestly, I need to pause right now, and I think I might come back later for a live. I don't know when that will be, but for those who tuned in, thank you. For those who liked, thank you. Please subscribe. If you want more of this, please subscribe and let me know in the comment section. And have a wonderful one. Shalom.